Okay everyone, this is Jane with Barlow Herbal and I'm going to show you how to make an herb infused oil. The herb I'm going to use today is Calendula Flower Oil. I've got a bag of dried beautiful calendula flowers here. I've got some kind of spilled around here for artistic effect, but this is a really fun way to make your own herb infused oil, and I'm going to show you how simple it is. Now the kind of jar I would suggest you get is glass. I wouldn't infuse your oils in plastic. This is a gallon jar. And I would suggest that you start with something smaller like a quart jar for your oils, unless you plan on using a lot of herb infused oils. Now you can do this with any herb, but I'm today going to show you calendula. So I'm going to take my clean glass jar, and I've got dried organic calendula flowers here, and I'm just going to put these in the jar. And you might get a little bit messy, and sometimes I do this outside and sometimes I do this in my shop. But either way is totally fine. So I'm just basically going to fill this jar all the way to the top with calendula. So it's really as simple as this. Now there are some herbs that are a little less fluffy, and there's even some herbs or roots that might be little chunks, and you're going to have to fill it up, you know, with no matter how much it weighs. I would fill it all the way to the top. So this is really light and fluffy, but you might have something that is a little more dense, and it might take 4 pounds to fill up a quart instead of, so this is 1 pound, and it's not gonna all fit in here. So that's just something good to know, is what I do is I just fill up my jar. So you can see this is actually just pretty quick and pretty easy, and I do kind of press it down just a little bit, and then I'm gonna leave it about right here. Now the reason I'm not going to fill it to the top is because sometimes the dried plant will actually expand in oil. So I'm going to just fill it to there and then let it expand. So I'm just going to put this over here, and then this is how simple it is. Now this is organic extra light virgin olive oil, and you can use grapeseed oil, sweet almond oil, you can use other really light oils instead of olive oil, but I love extra virgin light olive oil. So this is how simple this is. So I'm just going to take this oil and I'm going to pour it over the top of the calendula. And no matter what plant you're doing, you just pour it over until it fills all the way up. And it might take just a few minutes, but I'm going to show you how simple. And you can see the olive oil kind of flowing down amongst the flowers. And this is just such an amazing way to get back to not just nature, but get back to making your own products, which is simply the best. So more is coming in here, and this actually this goes pretty quick. And then after a minute, you're gonna see it literally filling up from the bottom. It's going to come all the way up. See there, it's coming all the way up from the bottom. So it fills up super fast. Okay, now before I go too much over the top here, I'm going to do 2 things. Okay, keep looking at that. I'm going to go around the corner. Okay. So I'm going to add a little bit of vitamin E. Now you can get vitamin E in very small jars, but I get mine in a big jug. This is a gallon of vitamin E, and I don't typically measure, but I would probably put anywhere from 2 to 4 tablespoons. So I'm just going to pour the vitamin E, a little bit more, and that's it. Now what this does is this acts as a natural preservative. And the cool thing about this vitamin E is then I just rub it in my skin because it's so nice, it's so moisturizing. Your skin loves vitamin E. Now the second thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to take a chopstick, and can you see all those air bubbles? So I'm going to poke this down in there, because the most important thing about this is that you want all those air bubbles out before you let your herbs infuse into this oil for 30 days, because if you let it sit with all the air bubbles, it's going to actually make the oils go rancid. And you can see those air bubbles coming up. So I'll sit and poke this for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, until I don't see any more air bubbles coming up. So we're just gonna let this one sit, and I'm gonna come back to this one later. But literally, you can use anything that's long and can just sit and poke through your herbs. And then I'm gonna top it off with more olive oil, and I am gonna come back and finish getting the air bubbles out of this one. Since I've already added the vitamin E, now it's all ready to sit and infuse, and let all of the calendula flower properties get into the oil. Now, another important thing is on your lid, you want to put the name and the date. So I'm going to put this on, and then what I'm going to do with this gallon jar is I have a sunny window in my office, and I'm going to sit this in a sunny window for 30 days in my office. And it's just going to sit there. I'm not going to shake it. I'm not going to disturb it, because the goal is to get all the air bubbles out so that you don't have to worry about it going rancid. And then when it comes to be the 11th of June, I will know that it's time to filter this. So, as luck would have it, we have a jar of calendula all ready to filter. Now this one, I actually got started on the 4th of, or the 3rd of April. So this one is a little past ready, but it's completely ready now. You can see the difference. These have been soaking and they are totally ready to filter. So I have a couple of great tips for you. Okay, so here are my tools. So we're gonna set that there for a second. And it took me a little while to figure this out. So here's my gallon jug. I do filter this into a gallon plastic jug just to get it in, and then I'll transfer it into a glass jar to store it, because it's better to store your herbs and your tinctures and everything in glass. So we've got the plastic jug, and again, I'll mark this just so I remember, especially if I'm doing multiple, before I transfer it, so I know exactly what it is. Then I'm going to put this funnel in it. Then I'm going to put this, now this is a piece of like muslin cloth, and this basically is going to be my filtering cloth, and I only use these once, so I don't wash these and use them again. I just get this by the bolt. I buy a big bolt of it, either Joann's Fabric or in a different fabric store. I've even gotten sometimes at Walmart in their fabric department, and mostly because I'm going to only use it once. So after I do this, now this is how I used to filter it, just like this, and then it was messy and it would take forever, but I've since added this little strainer, and what this does is this is going to catch the herbs. This is going to catch all the raw material. So, and I usually have this little, let me see if I can actually I'm going to put this over here just to kind of balance it. And I usually will lean this up against a wall just so that this won't tip over, and I have some other stuff around it so that once I start filtering it, it's not going to fall over, because it's going to be top heavy until it starts going into the jug. Okay, so that is there. Let's screw this lid off. And like I said, this has not been shaken, this has not been stirred, this has just been sitting in a sunny window for a little bit more than 30 days. So I'm just pouring this in. And you can see, now so what I'll do is I'll actually just turn this upside down, and I will literally let this sit, and it might take 30 minutes, it might take an hour, for all the oils to come out of the flowers through this strainer and then through the cloth. So if you look at the bottom, you can see this beautiful dark yellow oil that's now coming out of there, and that is your freshly infused calendula flower oil, which is, you can see, super, super easy.
What are some benefits of it?
So the benefits of calendula flower oil is that it's super nourishing for your skin, and so it's really moisturizing. Plus it has a lot of antioxidants. It's got some antibacterial properties, and one of the things I love is it makes your skin feel super, super soft. And when you put something like this on your skin, or in a healing salve, your body recognizes it as natural, which is one of the most amazing things about making things that you know the exact pure ingredients. You don't have to go wonder what else is in there or wonder how to pronounce that ingredient that's in there. And calendula is actually very expensive to buy if you buy it already infused, but if you make it yourself, it's actually so much more affordable. And so that's one of the best things, is that you can make your own skincare products. It would normally cost you a lot of money if you bought these ingredients, but then you get them for a great price. So you can see, look how fast that's actually filtering.
Oh wow.
And that is just a really, really beautiful oil. In fact, if you were to smell calendula, especially in an oil, it has a really unique, really light, flowery smell. But it's not overly sweet. It's really rich. It's a really rich herbal smell. So after this filters, and this, like I said, this is going to probably take a little while, then I'm going to add another 2 to 4 tablespoons of vitamin E after I transfer it into a glass jar, so that however long it takes me to use it, the vitamin E will keep it preserved, because it actually is not only something that's really good for your skin, but it actually preserves the oils. And I wouldn't suggest taking a long time to use these. They don't have an indefinite shelf life. That's why you probably don't want to make a gallon. You probably want to just make a quart to start. And then, you know, if you're going to be making them as gifts, or you're going to be doing a little thing where you're going to sell something, then yeah, start making them in whatever big batches you want. But so fun, and as you can see, super easy. So have fun. I hope you have a great time making your own herb infused oils. Thanks for watching.